Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 and 1220 on the AM side, 98.1 FM. This is SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson, your host. It is good to have you in. Thank you for joining us. This special edition of Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers, is brought to you by KHTS in collaboration with SCVi and iLEAD Charter Schools. We come to you live each day at 9 a.m., providing support, updates on your distance learning, and we are constantly curating and adding new resources to our website to help you out. Have you been over to homeschoolinganswers.com? We've got resources there for you on your distance learning journey. They are curated by grade level, by subject area, so if you're looking for something sciencey, just go ahead and click on science, or if you need something for your third grader, click on third grade. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. I see people posting every day, and it's great that so many different organizations are providing so much during this time, but it can be tough to weed through, and we're doing a lot of that weeding for you. So head on over to homeschoolinganswers.com. We've got resources for you, and if we don't have the resource that you need, or if you're just freaking out a little bit, you don't know what you need, but you know you need something, shoot me an email. Send that email to homeschoolinganswers@ileadschools.org, and we'll get right on whatever it is that's perplexing you, okay? So send me that email at homeschoolinganswers@ileadschools.org. We got another busy show today. It is jam-packed up in here, and by up in here, I mean on the phone lines. My engineer Shane and I are in the studio alone. We've got our social distance. He's about, 6.5, 7 feet away. We both got our masks on, and we're doing it right. And our guests are going to be calling in on the phone. We've got something for everybody today. I feel like, go figure, I'm being typecast. I feel like food is the common theme throughout the day today. We're talking farmers market, gardening in the age of coronavirus, eating chili to support the homeless, helping ourselves ease into the new normal as well. And we're also going to get to know another area graduating senior. That's right. We've got Larry McClements, the manager of the Newhall Farmers Market, Joshua McCall from Empower Generations Charter High School, Mike Foley, the executive director of Bridge to Home, Vincent McDaniels, gardener at the Getty Center in Los Angeles, and of course our friend and official licensed marriage and family therapist, Kristina de Bree. So, gather the family around. Like I said, we've got something for everyone. Gather that family around the radio like it was 1947, and let's all enjoy this one. My first guest manages the Newhall Farmers Market. Larry McClements has lived in Valencia for most of his life and is very active in the community. His passion for cooking led him on a search to the freshest ingredients available, which of course took him to the farmers markets. So obviously he was thrilled when he heard that the Newhall Farmers Market was opening in 2015. Soon thereafter, Larry was helping his 16-year-old son manage not one but two vendor stands out there at the Newhall Farmers Market, and his passion and work helped to expand the market, and that led him to becoming the manager of the market when the previous manager retired at the end of last year. Larry's talent for writing has also led him to have several of his pieces published in local periodicals, including several delicious-looking recipes in Elite Magazine and SCVi Eats. Mr. McClements, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning.
It's good to have you. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Sure thing. Thank you for having me. But you guys dug deep. You've got a lot of information about me. That's funny.
Well, we've got a couple of crack researchers doing their homework. Larry, so why don't you start with telling us about the market? Not everyone knows everything about the Newhall Farmers Market. I've been there many times myself, but some of our listeners may not be aware of the history. So, where are you located? What's the Newhall Farmers Market all about?
Well, we're located in the parking lot of the Old Town Newhall Library, right at Lyons and Railroad. I mean, right on the corner. You kind of can't miss us. But, it's when you talk about the history of farmers markets here in our town, I get this question every week. We're the third version of a farmers market, in Newhall that the city tried to kind of get going. And going back, I don't even know how long, 10 years ago, there was one down on Main Street. That ran for a while. That was a fake farmers market, and I'll talk about what a real farmers market is.
Wow,
there was there was a second one that was on Main Street, and that was they claimed to be a real farmers market, but they weren't. It just wasn't pulled off well. And finally, in 2015, the city of Santa Clarita went to Greta Dunlap, who had a long career in farmers markets and a Newhall resident, and said, hey, can you start a farmer's market for us? And she did. And, I don't know that anybody else could have pulled it off, because starting something like that from the ground up and getting it to grow and getting vendors that are good quality to come and stick it out through the first year or two is so tough. But she had enough pull in the industry and called in a bunch of favors, and so she kind of got it going, and it moved around a couple different times. And in 2018, you touched on it. I helped my son. I was an assistant to my 16-year-old, and I sold peaches along with him. And my salary was, a flat of peaches at the end of the day they gave to me. And I told the farmer, I said, "That's a good deal. I'll take it." And mostly it was just we had a blast. This is my passion in life. I wish I could do it full time, but I can't. And at the end of 2018, she said, "Hey, I'm retiring." And I said, "Well, what's going to happen to the market? Who's going to run it?" And she said, "You are." And I said, "Well, okay." So, here I am now. And in 2019, I took over, and it was very, very nerve-wracking, coming into it and not knowing anything about it. But I just kind of let my passion be my guide. And my focus taking it over from her was to continue to grow the market. And this is really my passion in life. And when I'm not at the farmers market and I have free time, I'm probably at another farmers market. Last week I was at Channel Islands. I had some business out there, and I'm always I'm networking with other people. I'm always trying to keeping up on the latest, and so I'm always on top of kind of what's going on. And that's where we're at today. Is we're a year-round market. We're out there, rain or shine. In the pouring down rain, we're out there. It doesn't matter. So, we're a source, especially in these times right now that we're in, where certain food items have been in short supply. We're another grocery option for Santa Clarita, but I personally think we're the best option out there. So, of course, I'm kind of biased. So,
yeah. I know, like I said, I head out there to complete my shopping list quite frequently. Larry, how many vendors have you got out at the market each weekend?
I've got about 22. We're a smaller market. There's another one in town who runs Sunday over at College of the Canyons. Great market. I go over there. They've got some things I don't have, certainly. I got some things they don't have. Oh. I tell everybody, go to both. If you're going to one, I don't really care. They're not, we're not competitors. I love to see them do well. They love to see me do well. We have a good relationship. So, it works real well.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are like two different aisles in the same grocery store. Definitely. So I touched on it in your intro, but how did you become so involved in farmers markets? What's driving the passion there?
Well, I like to cook, and, I always want to source the best, and back, years and years ago, I would say, gosh, the best would be, our local high-end grocery store in town. And I would go there, and it would just, it's got to be the best because I'm buying it from them. And, I never stopped to really think, you're buying a peach, from them, let's say. Mm-hmm. What journey did that peach take to get there? And I don't care whether you're buying there or you're buying at a discount grocery store in town. Those peaches both took the same journey to get there, and it's going to involve, multiple changing of hands, trucks getting trucked all over the state, distribution centers, things like that. And the big issue there is time. The produce you're seeing in the supermarket, most of it is weeks old, and some of it could be months. You can take things like citrus, you can do apples, peaches, and you can put them into cold storage for months. And at a farmer's market, you're getting when you're getting things, you're getting things that are days old oftentimes. So I had never heard of a farmer's market really, or thought much about it. And I was walking up in Solvang actually, and was just up there on pleasure, and was walking back to my car through a farmer's market, and there was a table of peaches, and they just looked so magnificent. And I grabbed one. And I got in the car and started driving, and I took a bite, and I said, "This is." It was. I joke. I say it was a life-changing peach. It was just amazing. It was so bright, and just everything about it was just gorgeous. And I was like, I couldn't believe how good it was. And when I got home to Santa Clarita, of course, I looked up and said, "I've got to get to a farmer's market." I was shocked. There was one, the Sunday market was a quarter mile from my house, and I hadn't even heard of it. And then, back in 2015 when Greta started up the Newhall market, I was right there with her, and I didn't think it would ever succeed. And, but just was out there every Saturday with her and kind of followed the progression of the market and just learned a lot and just chatted with her. And that's kind of just getting more and more into it. But when I got into farmers markets, everything from, the berries to the fruits, the vegetables, to all the other products you have is fresher and it tastes better, and I have access to things that nobody else has in Santa Clarita, which is what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I knew things were a lot fresher. I thought it was because they got to the market a couple of days ahead of the grocery store. I didn't realize that oftentimes it's a matter of weeks. That's incredible. I didn't think my peaches were that old.
Yeah, it's why people will say, one of the things I enjoyed so much about selling peaches, and we sold that year for Tenerelli. John Tenerelli is a second-generation peach farmer up on the high desert. His father was one of the pioneers of farmers markets, and him and I have a strange history that we have our paths crossed so many different times. But we were, he was the one that my son was selling for. I wouldn't sell for just anybody. I said, it's got to be good. And his are among the best. They really are. And people would walk by, and this is when we were giving samples out, and they would say, "Oh, peaches don't taste the same anymore." I heard that every week. They just don't taste the same anymore. And I would say, "Try this." And you instantly get a customer. They would take a bite, and they'd go, "This is incredible." And I go, "Yeah, it's everything here in the market is like that." I mean, that's what a farmer's market is all about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was going to say the peaches are just representing right now, but it's just about everything out there is just so much better, and you can tell the difference the moment whether you're mixing it into a recipe or eating them straight from the basket. There, you're absolutely right. Everything tastes so much better.
Oh yeah, no, I blind taste test things, and it's Tenerelli is a good example. I actually went out and got supermarket peaches from different vendors, and cutting them up on plates and labeling them and mixing them up, and my whole family will come and blind taste test them, and we see who's the best. I've done it with friends. We did a blind taste test of apples, and the supermarket apples really stood out, not in a good way. And then you get into the farmer's market apples, and it comes down to they're all good, but whose is just the best. And sometimes it's real close a lot of times. I've got vendors that sell just the same product, and I will blind taste test, and I find from week to week whose is better can really vary depending on a bunch of different factors. It could be when they're picked and what the weather's been like, where it's grown, and there's so many different things that can influence it, but it all should be spectacular. So.
Are you as old as me? Do you remember the Pepsi challenge? Well, Larry's doing the Peaches challenge out there at the farmers market. We're talking to Larry McClements, manager of the Newhall Farmers Market. So, Larry, your market is a certified farmers market. We heard you a little bit earlier throwing shade at other farmers markets. What does that mean? What is a certified farmers market?
Well, a certified farmer's market, that's an actual legal definition. Anybody can call. I can go out front of my house, so to speak, and sell vegetables and say, hey, this is a farmer's market. There's a restaurant, a barbecue chain down in Orange County right now that says, come enjoy our farmer's market. And it's online, and all they're doing is reselling Cisco distributor produce, and that's not a farmer's market. Of course, the most famous one is our grocery store in town that labels themselves as a farmer's market. They're not a farmer's market. They're the furthest thing from it. And when you're a certified farmer's market, however, and only we can call ourselves that, we're regulated by the USDA. We're regulated mostly by Los Angeles County. The Department of Agriculture from LA County, we work very close with them. They do a spectacular job. They know of all the produce that is being sold in our market, you have to be, the person selling it has to either be the farmer or work for the farmer. And, if I'm growing peaches, I can't sell my neighbor's plums, for example. I have to be selling plums that I grew. And you say, well, how do you enforce that? Well, the county actually knows what these guys are growing. They know where it's being grown, and they know how much of it they grow. So, and they go out to the farms. They come out to our markets, surprise inspections. An inspector will show up, and they literally look through all the produce. They're looking at it, handling it. If something doesn't look right, they start taking pictures, and then they say, famous example, this wasn't our market. Somebody was selling leeks, and they said, hey, we're going to come out tomorrow morning, and we want to see your leeks. And they drove out to the person's farm, and they had leeks in the ground, sure enough. And the inspector went over and grabbed a hold of one and found they had literally just bought some store ones and stuck them in the ground. They had no roots. Because they were selling stuff that wasn't theirs, and they were busted, and they were caught, and that happens. It's never happened at our market, but I know of vendors in the industry that occasionally they'll, and it's nothing that's normally a gross violation, but sometimes it's just, gosh, I got some stuff from my neighbor, and they don't want you to do that. They want to make sure this is a real, honest farmer's market. So that's the intent.
So it takes more than a pair of overalls. That is scandalous, guys, just grabbing leeks from the grocery store and sticking them in the ground. That is funny. Again, we're talking to Newhall Farmers Market manager Larry McClements. We do need to take a quick commercial break, but don't go away. When we come back, we're going to make Larry decide once and for all, tomato, fruit, or vegetable. And for more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you'll find tips on the economy, health updates, special business hours, and much, much more. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson, on your hometown station, KHTS.
Have you ever been in the middle of cooking on your barbecue and ran out of propane? It can be so frustrating. Don't ever run out of propane again. Call Plumbing by Kirk to set up your free estimate to find out if your barbecue can be retrofitted to hook up to natural gas. Plumbing by Kirk can assess your situation for options to hook up your natural gas line so that you'll never run out of gas in the middle of cooking again. Give us a call, 263-6519, 263-6519, or go online at plumbingbyKirk.com.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Call Plumbing by Kirk.
It's allergy season again. You've tried it all, yet your sinuses continue to be a problem. Try something different, something holistic, something that will really work. Acupuncture. Kathleen Keneally is Santa Clarita's acupuncture and innate specialist. She's been treating many of your neighbors and their children for allergies, sinuses, headaches, and pain. Find out how acupuncture can improve the quality of your life. Call Kathleen Keneally for a free phone consultation. 252-4100. 252-4100. Acupuncture. It really works.
He broke records and piloted the F-18 Super Hornet in combat. Answering our nation's call, he served with honor. Then Mike Garcia returned home to his family, to a far worse California from where he grew up. Now, Garcia's next mission: cut taxes, clean up homelessness in our cities. With California on the brink, we need a fighter to answer the call once again. Mike Garcia for Congress.
I'm Mike Garcia, and I approve this message.
This is Suzette Martinez Valadares. Many child care centers are closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The child care providers that are open are serving our essential workforce and finding it very difficult to find or purchase the supplies needed to keep their facilities clean and children healthy. Our healthcare professionals are fighting to save lives. First responders and law enforcement are bravely serving our community. And our grocery store clerks are keeping our local markets stocked. This is our chance to help them. This is why we are launching Operation Childcare. Our mission is to collect donations for local early childhood education providers serving our frontline essential workforce. Donations needed include hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, disinfectant spray, disposable gloves, and masks. These donations can be dropped off at KHTS Radio, located at 24320 Main Street in Newhall, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
At iLEAD Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLEAD Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit iLEADAguadulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLEAD Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Town Cleaners on Soledad is offering free dry cleaning for all first responders and medical personnel. Free pickup and delivery is also available. Call Mo at 250-1542. 250-1542. Town Cleaners on Soledad.
At Jersey Mike's, we make a sub above. Bread baked fresh, veggies served crisp, meat and cheese sliced on the spot. Then comes the juice. Red wine vinegar and olive oil blended to perfection. It's what makes a Jersey Mike's sub a sub to behold. And beholding? Well, we think that works best with two hands. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Your Santa Clarita Jersey Mike's, a proud sponsor of Santa Clarita Sports.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. We are also here on Facebook Live. Are you looking in on us? We hope so. This is SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers with Matt Watson. And this morning we're talking with Larry McClements, manager of the Newhall Farmers Market right here next to the Old Town Newhall Library. Larry, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your time today.
Hey, thank you.
Of course. So, Larry, we talked a bit about the farmers market and the history and how it got started and why it's so delicious. But other than really, really, really fresh peaches, why would somebody shop at the farmers market? What's oftentimes it's a second or even a third stop on our grocery run. So why should someone shop at your market?
Well, that's a good question. For me, 10 years ago when I kind of started shopping at farmers markets, it's my first stop, and it's most things. I get 99% of my produce there and a lot of other products as well. There's very little that I buy at the supermarkets anymore. So why should somebody shop there? I think pertinent, especially to the time we're in now, is safety. In this COVID-19 environment, we're outdoors. We're spread out a lot more, and most of all, our supply chain is very short. When our berries were picked by Vilma Gutierrez and her family, at Gutierrez Farms, she brings them to the market. I literally am taking my berries from the hand of the person that grew them. That hasn't been sitting on a shelf for a week in a supermarket or in their back room or getting tossed around or handed between trucks. So I think it's a good place to shop. But most of all, aside from that, I think we offer the best of value. Our produce is fresher, so it lasts longer. We used to buy berries at some supermarkets years and years ago, and they always, if we didn't eat them within a day, they would go to mold. I have berries in there from my vendor that can go up to 2 weeks without getting moldy or going bad. So you've got less bad produce. The taste is better. And we have access to varieties. There's 200 different kinds of peaches grown here in Southern California. We have access to many different varieties. The supermarket, you're only going to see a couple different varieties because they're going to grow what grows the biggest, the heaviest, the quickest, the easiest, and that isn't always the best tasting. And then, of course, it's good for the environment. Your short trips and things like that. It's a local food supply is really what we're all about. And not only are you supporting local farms, but the local businesses that sell at our market as well. You're supporting them.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really fun. I always kind of imagine folks have got their pickup trucks parked right there behind their stands, and you can almost see the whatever produce that you're buying going from the ground to the back of a pickup truck, and there it is being handed off to you. So and it's just a lot of fun seeing the stuff that people have out there, there's nothing like a fresh piece of fruit or vegetable or the spices that you can get out there. Larry, we need to keep our social distance, but will you take us by the virtual hand and take us on a virtual tour of the market? What are some of the highlights there?
Some of the highlights of our market, one of our newer vendors, I love to talk about them because I have stuff that you cannot get anywhere in Santa Clarita, let alone the San Fernando Valley or even parts of L.A. I've got the best fish in Southern California. And this is somebody that I found. It was 5 months of searching, and literally I met with vendors in Orange County, Ventura, L.A. County. And when I found Maryland at West Coast Seafood selling right in the dead center of the Hollywood Farmers Market, I was just blown away, and I said, I want you in my market. I've got stuff. This past week I had Caberneros shrimp, deep water Mediterranean shrimp from Spain, gorgeous deep red color. I've never seen those in my life before. I'll get the under 4 per pound giant colossal shrimp. I've never seen those anywhere locally. Wow. Fresh sashimi grade hamachi yellowtail from Japan, wild caught, just 4 kinds of salmon during salmon season. But we've got other things too. Our meats are all pasture raised. Harvest Gathering Farm is our vendor. They raise chickens and pigs in Ojai. The beef comes from Creston outside of San Luis, and lamb from Atascadero. And they're doing something called regenerative agriculture. You hear how bad beef is for the environment, eat less beef. Nonsense. Eat more of our beef, because our beef, the way it's raised, there are studies out there backing this up. It's actually carbon negative. It's actually good for the environment. The meat is better for you. That is scientific fact, not opinion. We've got some great local vendors, local eggs from Val Verde. Our man Emilio, who runs Urban Organic Farms, has a 40-acre certified farm in Val Verde. You'd never know it was there. I've been up there. It's gorgeous. I've got kefir, butter, cheese, all farm direct out of Petaluma. They milk the goats and cows that make all their products. Bread, Dustin and Emily from Little's Loaves and Bools, former employees of Newhall Refinery, right down the street from you guys. They started a bread company a year ago, and they make fabulous artisan bread. Only place you can get it in the valley is at my market. Fantastic baked goods from Kimberly at Bake Up. She's out of Acton. Amazing stuff. I've got olive oil, Bernie and Halabi Farms out of Fresno, fresh flowers from Santa Paula. I mean, farm direct flowers. Microgreens grown that you just can't get fresh living at the market. And then, of course, I've got other people that, you can buy food. Now it's to take home. You can't eat at the market. Fiesta Taco Grill, who's located down the street from you guys on Arch Street. I love keeping it local. I found them. They come in and bring salsas, other things to take home. Fabulous. Fresh Churro Bar, who's opening a block from you guys. Yeah. And is at some point soon, and does fresh churros. They're selling them packaged, prepackaged, ready to go, but amazing. You can't get that anywhere else in Santa Clarita. So those are just some of the highlights of our market.
You've got me so excited. This weekend I'm already planning my steak and eggs breakfast, and I'm going to call myself an environmentalist. Now, you kind of touched on it. Everything is different now in the age of coronavirus. So you guys are still open, you're still operating, but what has changed? Has you said that? Go ahead.
Yeah, we're an essential business, and I can come on here and talk all these great things, and it's essentially at heart we feed people, we bring groceries to people, and it's my passion to bring the best I can get, and that's kind of how I've grown the market. Is I want the best I can get. I turn down most people that call me and want in the market. So, that being said, so how do we do that in this environment? We spaced the market out. That's something that's mandated. We eliminated sampling week 1. They later came out and mandated that as well. There's all sorts of special rules, much stricter than the supermarkets we have to follow. Keep in mind, we're out there in the open, outdoors, and people can drive by and see what's happening. If we get too crowded or something like that, all it takes is one person to snap a picture, and we can get in trouble. So there's several of us out there making sure that doesn't happen. We're also offering curbside pickup.
Oh, wow.
There's rules that have been given to us by the LA County Public Health Department. It's been very frustrating. Initially, when this happened, nobody knew they didn't know how to handle this, and we. had anybody who didn't grow the product, they made us kick them out of the market until they figured out that they sell food, and then they let them back in. And that's applied to all farmers markets in LA County, and it really screwed everybody up and decimated some of these businesses needlessly. But the good news is that everybody's back in our market. Just about. Our bread people are returning, along with our baked goods, a week from Saturday, and thrilled to death to have them back. So we are genuinely doing the best we can to operate safe, in a safe environment. All of us, our vendors, have masks. We are required to make sure our customers have masks, and I've got free ones to hand out. We take it very seriously because, I'm not a medical expert. Ask me about farmers markets. So the experts come out and say, you guys need to be doing this, and we're gonna do what they say.
Terrific, and I know you're tickling a lot of people's palates. I know listener Nancy out there it just can't wait for the weekend to come to get out to the farmers market. Now, Larry, I know you have a mission to continue to grow the Newhall Farmers Market. What future plans do you have to serve our community?
Well, we do a lot of things right now. Thank you to a generous donation grant from Henry Mayo Hospital. Every month we take produce and we bring it to Canterbury, who's located, I had no idea it was there. He lived right down the street from it, at Orchard Village and Lyons, right behind the Velarda that's there. It's a low-income senior housing. There's 72 people in there, and at the end of the month, they were having problems finding anything to eat. So we took a grant from Henry Mayo, and we deliver tons of bulk produce to them every month. 2 weeks ago, we dropped some crates of oranges at the Sheriff's Department. We're always trying to, trying to do anything we can to help and serve the community. But, going forward as far as the market is, we're continuing our smart growth, and I say smart growth in that, we turn down most everybody that comes and wants in the market because they're just not right. And when I took over the market, I kicked a couple people out because I didn't like their product. I didn't think it was that good. And I found, we had a salsa vendor, and I replaced them with Fiesta Taco Grill. And I got somebody that was local, and I thought just 10 times better. And, we're going to continue to grow very smart. So we're never going to sacrifice quality. And we're always going to be out there to serve the community, kind of rain or shine. And, it's what we do. And we may not be perfect at everything, but I'm out there every Saturday. And if anybody has questions, concerns, opinions, I love feedback from anybody. I'm in a uniform shirt with a logo on it, my name tag. You can't miss me out there. I'm out there all the time. And grab me. And nothing more I love to talk about than farmers markets.
Larry McClements, he's running the most exclusive farmers market around, and the quality of the products there really do show. So once you start thinking now, get your list together and get ready for just an amazingly fresh Sunday brunch for your family, or whatever you're putting together. As Larry mentioned, you can absolutely skip that stop at the grocery store and pick up stuff that is weeks fresher out at the Newhall Farmers Market. Larry, thank you so much for coming on, and keep up the good work. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much, and follow us on social media at Old Town Newhall Farmers Market. We're on Facebook and Instagram.
Fantastic. Old Town Farmers Market on Facebook and Instagram. Larry, you stay safe and take care of yourself, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you. Bye.
You take care. And how about you? How do you listen to us at home? Are you watching us on the Facebook Live app? Are you listening to the radio? When I'm not in studio here, I listen to I typically prefer the AM radio. Why? Because I'm an old guy, and that's what old guys do. We listen to AM radio. I listen to 1220, but you can catch us at 98.1 FM. You can also listen on your Amazon Echo device and just holler at your device. I love it when I'm in my office at home and I'm doing my work from home like everybody else is doing these days. I like just shouting across the room, "Hey Alexa, play KHTS," and the folks here at KHTS just pop on the radio. And you can also download the app. Have you done that? I enjoy just pulling it up on my phone. You download from your iPhone or Android device the KHTS app. It's completely free. You get all the news updates, and you get the live stream from the radio station here. So check us out. We're on all different kinds of platforms. You can also head on over to the website at hometownstation.com and stream live from there. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got that new feature that you're enjoying, our Senior Spotlight. We'll meet another one of our amazing seniors who's looking forward to his graduation here really soon. For more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner there. There you will find tips on the economy, health updates, and special business hours. You know, I got caught off guard by some of those business hours last night as I went out to pick up a little bit of a late dinner. It was slim pickings out there. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
When you're looking for a midnight snack, sometimes fast food just doesn't cut it. California Bakery and Cafe is open 24/7, so you'll be able to find fresh donuts, danishes, bagels, all-natural fruit juices, gourmet sandwiches, and much more at any hour. With elaborate cakes for any occasion, including weddings, baptisms, anniversaries, corporate events, or any special event. California Bakery and Cafe in Santa Clarita is open 24 hours to satisfy any craving, anytime. Call us, 255-1254. That's 255-1254.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
As the stay-at-home order continues, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 Freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
Power Automotive is open for you during these challenging times. They've taken extra precautions to keep their employees and customers safe. What makes Power Automotive different? They offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on all their repair services, all makes and models, autos, trucks, diesels, and even RVs. Mention KHTS and get 20% off parts. Power Automotive, on Soledad between Whites Canyon and Sierra Highway, behind Denny's. Power Automotive will show you why they've been voted Santa Clarita's #1 repair shop for the last 18 years.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row, and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCVi Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
I never thought I'd be looking for an assisted living home until Mom got sick. Suddenly there were questions that I didn't have answers to, and only limited time to find the answers. What facility could take the best care of Mom? Then my mother's social worker gave me a brochure for assisted living locators and informed me that assisted living locators is recommended by more healthcare professionals than any other agency.
Call Shannon at Assisted Living Locators, 544-1004. That's 544-1004.
He broke records and piloted the F-18 Super Hornet in combat. Answering our nation's call, he served with honor. Then Mike Garcia returned home to his family, to a far worse California from where he grew up. Now, Garcia's next mission: cut taxes, clean up homelessness in our cities. With California on the brink, we need a fighter to answer the call once again. Mike Garcia for Congress.
I'm Mike Garcia, and I approve this message.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. So spring semester, do you remember spring semester of your senior year, how amazing it was with all the events, everything that you were looking forward to, all the excitement with prom and senior trip and graduation and all the excitement that goes along with senior year? Well, that's what it's supposed to be like, but this pandemic is just changing absolutely everything. And I know a lot of us are dealing with the difficulties in so many different ways, but the seniors of the class of 2020 have really been upended. And so we at Eye on the Valley want to honor our seniors by spotlighting a few of the seniors from our local high schools over the next couple weeks, couple months. Today, we're joined by Josh McCall from Empower Generations Charter High School. Josh, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm doing very well this morning, actually. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. About halfway through my first cup of coffee and having a wonderful time. So, Josh, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. Who are you? How long have you been at Empower? What are some of the interests and things that you're involved in? Who is Josh McCall?
So, my name is Josh. I've lived in AV for my entire life, and I've attended Empowered Generations for, technically this is my first year with Empowered Generations. However, I was part of the Innovation Studios high school hybrid for the last 2 years, and then we merged together to make Empowered Generations plus Innovation Studios. So that's our school right now, and I've been there for, technically this is my first year, but I've been part of the iLEAD family for 3 years now. Okay, so you've been at that campus for 3 years, and what Josh is talking about is we've got a hybrid high school program out there. It's a very small school. What would you say, about 150, 160 learners out there? Yeah.
And they're on an independent study model, but most of the kids are around most days when our campuses are open, of course, and the way they work with their facilitators is rather different. We'll cover that on another segment. This one is all about Josh here. So, Josh, you've been at the campus there, whether it's Empower Generations or the Innovation Studios side. What have been some of the most memorable experiences for you in high school?
It would definitely be like, I will say I'm lucky enough I was able to attend a prom. It was my friend's prom, so it wasn't mine. But, me and my friend, we had like a wonderful time, and that's still going to be like one of my favorite memories out of high school is attending her prom. I love talking with my teachers. I love having like these grown-up conversations about what's happening in the world, or even just anything about science. I love science so much. I'm a huge science nerd. But yeah, that's something like, those are going to be like the memories that like stay with me, is remembering talking to my teacher in her classroom and saying, all this fun, interesting, having scientific conversation. And it's wonderful. I don't know. I apologize. That's
No. That is great, and I agree with you. Science is a lot of fun. So, Josh, with the school site closures, we're doing distance learning. How's that going for you? Are you enjoying it, or is it rough? How's distance learning?
I'm actually doing really well on distance learning, I would like to say. I kind of have this ability to just work under any conditions, in a way, in a sense. So working from home is honestly not any harder than working on campus for me, especially because I do actually reach out to teachers still constantly if I need help or have questions, and they're always so good at reaching back. They always respond within the hour or within the 30 minutes, So I've been very well on the distance learning. I've been doing very well.
Fantastic. So now after graduation, you're coming up on your graduation here in just a matter of a month or two. What are you looking forward to? What's after graduation?
So hopefully I'll be attending AVC in the fall semester. AVC is our
Antelope Valley Community College, yeah.
Yes, it's our community college out here. Hopefully I'll be there, and I'll be taking my Gen Ed classes so I could transfer to university within the next year or year and a half, depending on how long it takes me to complete these Gen Ed classes. So
fantastic. And have you got long-term career goals? Do you know what you want to do?
I do. I want to go in. So when I transfer to university, I want to continue my studies in psychology, and I would either go into one of two fields, depending on which one interests me more. It's either going to be marriage and family counseling.
Oh, wow.
Or it's going to be child development psychology.
Okay.
So therapist for children and counselor, in that kind of sense.
Very cool. All right, Josh, so it's graduation night. You are the valedictorian. You've got the mic for the next 60 seconds or so. What do you want to say to your family and friends?
To my family, thank you so much for being there for me and being my biggest supporters. Without you, I would not be where I am. I would love to give thanks to my friends who are listening right now. They woke up early for this. Thank you. And to anybody else that, thank you for spending the time with me right now, especially during this time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody involved. It's been a wonderful experience. To my teachers, you guys are the highlight of my high school career, honestly. So thank you. It's a whole bunch of thanks and gratitude for everybody involved. It's I appreciate all of you, no matter how macro or micro you are in my life, I appreciate you. So thank you so much.
Well, Josh, we want to thank you. We appreciate you coming on and joining us today. And again, congratulations on your impending graduation. We look forward to talking to you here real soon. It is time for us to check local and national news stories and the latest updates right now. You're listening to SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers with your host, Matt Watson, on your hometown station, KHTS.
Yes, Dunkin' is open. The continued stay-at-home orders have been rough on all of us, but Dunkin' is trying to make things just a little bit better. There are many ways to get your Dunkin' fix. You can carry out at both locations, or you can drive through at Canyon Country, or get curbside service at the Bouquet Canyon Dunkin'. Both offer Grubhub and Postmates delivery and are open till 6 p.m. Don't forget, use your Dunkin' app for on the go to order, pay, and accumulate points. Dunkin' cares about the SCV.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
As the stay-at-home order continues, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 Freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
Facey knows life gets busy. Let us go to work for you in the Santa Clarita Valley. We have 34 primary care physicians and 55 specialty doctors in 4 offices. And Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS with some extended hour appointments available. We are Facey Medical Group. Let us go to work for you today. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
He broke records and piloted the F-18 Super Hornet in combat. Answering our nation's call, he served with honor. Then Mike Garcia returned home to his family, to a far worse California from where he grew up. Now, Garcia's next mission: cut taxes, clean up homelessness in our cities. With California on the brink, we need a fighter to answer the call once again. Mike Garcia for Congress.
I'm Mike Garcia, and I approve this message.
KHTS, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 10 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
It could get worse before it gets better. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That general assessment from senior White House advisor Kevin Hassett after the latest report on unemployment claims. Nearly 4 million Americans filing first-time claims last week, meaning 30 million now out of work because of the coronavirus pandemic, ahead of next week's jobs report for April.
And that jobs report is going to report an unemployment rate that, my guess is it's going to be something like 19%. Which would be the biggest unemployment rate we've had since before the Second World War.
Hassett also telling Fox News he thinks forecasts for a sharp rebound later this year are optimistic, but also saying it depends on the virus. One of the governors who's not ready to ease stay-at-home orders, New Jersey's Democrat Phil Murphy, has been meeting with President Trump today and making the case for possible federal aid to state governments. The president calling former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn a fine man as he renews attacks on former FBI officials after newly obtained documents reveal a possible entrapment effort. Flynn is trying to take back a guilty plea for lying to FBI agents about contacts with the Russian ambassador during the transition to the Trump White House. The president also renewing his questions about whether Roger Stone was treated fairly as his case is appealed.
The appeal was filed this morning for Roger Stone, the Republican operative and longtime friend of President Trump, who was found guilty of obstruction, witness tampering, and lying to Congress in November. He was sentenced to more than 3 years in federal prison. The charges had been brought as part of the Russia investigation and centered around Stone's contact with WikiLeaks to get information on hacked Democratic emails during the 2016 presidential campaign. Stone had asked for a new trial in February, days before his sentence was handed down.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, the same federal judge ruled against a retrial for Stone earlier this month. America is listening to Fox News.
Bria's fashion boutique is the worst. First they asked me if I needed help finding anything. Just because I'm gorgeous doesn't mean I need help.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then they tell me they're having a sale. Oh, so you're assuming I'm poor. Cool.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
Also, they tried to give me the friends and family discount. I'm not your friend, so...
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Right now, the world feels different as we stay apart to make sure we can safely come back together. Till then, there is something you can do without even leaving your home. Respond to the 2020 census online, by phone, or by mail. The census impacts where hundreds of billions in federal funding will go for things like hospitals, schools, and roads. Now is the time to go to 2020census.gov. It's as easy as it is important. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
President Trump says his administration is not overpromising with Operation Warp Speed, an effort to fast-track a possible COVID-19 vaccine. This as a study continues of a possible treatment that's showing some positive results.
Remdesivir is an experimental drug originally developed to treat Ebola, but its manufacturer, Gilead Sciences, reports it inhibits the replication of certain coronaviruses such as MERS and SARS in lab cultures. And now, the first wide-scale randomized study in humans hospitalized with COVID-19 shows it reduced the median hospital stay from 15 days to 11 days, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci. Remdesivir blocks an enzyme that the virus uses to replicate. The study involved patients already hospitalized with COVID-19. It did not evaluate the drug's effectiveness in less serious outpatient cases. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
U.S. intelligence officials say they're still not sure whether the virus came from animals or a lab accident in Wuhan. After confirming today they agree with scientific consensus it was not man-made or genetically altered. A man apologizes for throwing a house party in Chicago.
After video recently surfaced of a packed Chicago house party with about 50 people, elbow to elbow, where the rest of Illinois is social distancing, it prompted Mayor Lori Lightfoot to call it reckless. Governor J.B. Pritzker also outraged.
They've violated the trust of their friends and family.
Now the man behind that party, 26-year-old Janelle White, telling the Chicago Tribune he's remorseful for having a party during a pandemic, a party that he says he held in honor of friends lost to Chicago's gun violence crisis, and that his main goal right now is forgiveness from his mother, who he says owns the home and was ticketed by police. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Stocks are sinking. The Dow's been down about 400 points. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Live life juiced up at Juice It Up Valencia. Come in and try our great tasting smoothies, protein shakes, acai, and wheatgrass for your healthy lifestyle on the go. Also, enjoy our 10 flavors of tantalizing zinc frozen yogurt and selection of healthy toppings. Juice It Up Valencia is located at the corner of Newhall Ranch Road and Copper Hill Drive in the Office Depot Plaza. Open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sundays from 8 until 8. And remember to live life juiced up at Juice It Up Valencia.
Town Cleaners Unsoledad is offering free dry cleaning for all first responders and medical personnel. Free pickup and delivery is also available. Call Mo at 250-1542. 250-1542. Town Cleaners Unsoledad.
If you're in danger of losing your home to foreclosure, you need an expert. Hi, I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I've helped hundreds of Santa Clarita residents save their homes completely for free. I've got just over 20 years experience and a loan modification success rate of over 80%. I can negotiate better terms with your bank, and I can save your home from foreclosure. And again, we do this completely for free. So if you're in any danger, please call me today at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty, and I'll be happy to help you save your home for free.
Save water and save money. SCVi Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny today, highs in the upper 80s. Overnight lows in the mid-60s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, including the latest on COVID-19 here in the Santa Clarita area, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, your host. You're listening to Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. Joining us now on the line is Michael Foley. He's the Executive Director of Bridge to Home. Bridge to Home provides shelter and supportive services that help individuals and families in the Santa Clarita Valley move from homelessness to housing. Michael's a leader in the nonprofit sector, specializing in human services programs. He brings years of experience in core service delivery, grant proposal writing, and fundraising, program development, and organizational management. He's got tremendous expertise in assessing operations, developing fundable evidence-based programs and strategies, implementing innovative team-driven solutions, securing grants, donations, and collaborative partnerships, an inspiring and confident public speaker in all venues. Michael taps his experience in counseling, government outreach, public relations, marketing, and advocacy. Michael received his graduate certificate in nonprofit leadership from Fielding Graduate University. He's dedicated his life to building community collaboration within and beyond the nonprofit sector in hopes of bringing help to those in need by growing resources for nonprofit organizations, programs, and collaboratives. Good morning, Michael. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning to you.
I feel like I just need to say thank you very much and hang up.
It was good talking to you, Michael.
Thank you.
No. You're here to talk to us about some fun and important issues. I know we've got you on to talk about a fundraiser that's taking place this Monday that we need to get signed up for over the weekend for a very worthy cause. But before we get into that, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about Bridge to Home? What do you guys do?
So Bridge to Home is a central and important homeless service agency in the Santa Clarita Valley. We will help over 1,000 people who experience homelessness in Santa Clarita through providing a 365-day, 24/7 shelter, typically at the Drayton Street location. Now we are operating out of the Newhall Community Center, where all of our case management and resource development and shelter services are all consolidated in order for us to provide the best level of safety during the COVID crisis. We moved from our Drayton Street facility, lock, stock, and barrel, over to the Newhall Community Center when the COVID crisis started, to make sure that people could be as safe as they could be. So that we're definitely helping as many people as we can. Last night there were 60 beds, 58 of them were filled.
Oh, wow.
About 2 weeks ago, we also began working with a huge collaborative group of partners as the lead agency, providing 48 hotel rooms for our homeless neighbors who are extremely vulnerable, the most vulnerable to getting dealing with the coronavirus, and really like people who are vulnerable needing to be able to shelter in place. So right now we're providing that service as well. So we're helping over 110 people with shelter every single night. And we helped house 3 people just last week, went from homelessness to housing. So even though we're in a significant crisis, the mission of providing housing for folks has not changed, and we continue to work as hard as we can.
That's fantastic. So you're not just there supporting people, but you're helping them make that transition, which is such a beautiful thing that you guys are doing. Now, you mentioned what you guys are doing to help out during the current pandemic. I'm sure you guys are taking precautions. What measures are you taking there to keep the folks that you help not only secure but now healthy during the pandemic?
Well, of course, we're doing the 6 feet of separation, which is something that we continue to encourage everyone to do. We have, we've given cloth masks, and we have other types of masks that have been available to just about everyone. At the shelter program, where people are really at the hotel program, where people are really the most vulnerable, everybody gets their temperature taken before they come in, before they, after they leave. We're trying to make sure that everyone is, taking the best possible care of themselves. And of course, right now, in all of these situations, when folks are living and working in a congregate environment, we have hero staff, and our staff are taking all of the necessary precautions, to keep themselves and everyone else safe. So we're doing everything we can in that regard. One of the most amazing things, however, that I really want to share with you is there is a history in Santa Clarita that homeless services really revolve around volunteers stepping up to provide food and support for our homeless neighbors. In fact, at Bridge to Home, we do not spend any money unless, there's a bit of an emergency on food. It's all provided by volunteers. We were really worried when the crisis first started, because many of the volunteers are older, over the age of 65. We were really worried that we would have a drop-off in the number of volunteers coming to help with meals. I can tell you, since we began, only 3 have been missed. And when one group at one church was unable to provide services, another group from the church stepped up to provide the service. So volunteers have, as always in Santa Clarita, stepped up beyond the call of duty and really are doing amazing work to help us at Bridge to Home. So we're grateful to our volunteers. We're grateful to our staff. And, we're also grateful to our homeless neighbors who are doing everything that they can to keep one another safe.
Definitely. I love the town I live in. It's such a giving community. It really is beautiful. And this is definitely a worthy cause to get behind. So tell us, how are we going to be able to have a chili cook-off with public gatherings banned. Can you tell us a little bit first about the history of this event, and then how's it being handled this year?
Sure. Well, last year was the very first annual chili cook-off at the Cowboy Festival. And it's a fundraiser for Bridge to Home, and we're very excited. We had, at this point, I think we had 25 chili cooks all lined up, to provide, this really great event at the Cowboy Festival. And, there was significant disappointment with the community that the Cowboy Festival was canceled.
Sure.
And, of course, we were, at Bridge to Home, we've recently secured significant contracts to take our shelter to be a 24/7 operation. But for every dollar we get, we have to match it, both with volunteer services and dollar for dollar, to be able to match it with community contributions. So we were really counting on this to get to the end of our June fiscal year and be successful. So we were really worried, as it related to fundraising. So the idea was that we would create a chili cookout to have local restaurants to provide chili dinners for people. So for a $100 contribution to Bridge to Home, our partners at Wolf Creek, at Salt Creek Grill, and the Old Town Junction have put together a chili cookout dinner on May 4th. And so for that $100 donation, you get a chili dinner for 4 that includes chili, cornbread, salad, and a choice of your dressing. And all 3 of these restaurants have amazing beer and wine available. So beer and wine and any other beverage that folks might like are all a part of that. And I hear that some of them may even be creating specialty cocktails to go along with it. So it's really exciting. Again, so for a $100 contribution to Bridge to Home keeps all of the proceeds, which go to help our homeless neighbors. And folks get an amazing chili dinner, which brings the Cowboy Festival home, which we think is a really exciting idea.
I agree. That is fantastic. This year the Cowboy Festival delivers. So it's not a chili cook-off. It's a cook-out. So
you got it. That's exactly right.
All right, fantastic. So for a $100 donation, any one of those 3 restaurants, or is it all 3 of them that's delivering?
You pick the restaurant that you'd like to come in and pick up the food from. It's really simple. What folks do is go to our website. It's www.b2home.org. Click on the virtual chili cookout page, and you go to the order page. And it's really simple. You make your donation. You get a meal code. Pick the restaurant that you want to go do your pickup from on May 4th, and you're all set.
Now,
I'll just give you an example of something that's really exciting. We've had 3. One person ordered 3 dinners recently.
That's what I was going to ask about. Okay.
Yesterday. And they're setting up a virtual Cowboy Festival dinner party.
Fantastic. And so they're actually going to do the chili cook-off. They're going to sample all 3 and let us know which one's best, huh?
I don't know. I don't know if we'll have a competition this year because we're so grateful to all of the restaurants that are participating, and I'm sure they're all going to be amazing.
I know that the folks in this town love to go above and beyond. So, yeah, for your $100 donation, you get a chili dinner for 4. But, if you're looking to go above and beyond, why not get chili from all 3 establishments and taste them and let us know what you think. I think it's really interesting to hear that at least one of the restaurants may be pairing cocktails with the chili. I always figured that the required adult beverage was beer that went with chili, and I know that they've all got great beers to send off with your chili, but that'll be really interesting. Do you get a highball or what goes good with chili? I can't wait to find out.
I'm imagining that there are some Texas cocktail recipes that might go well. So again, we don't know, but one of the things that's exciting about this idea is that the restaurants can get creative, and people can do Zoom events with one another, and it's something that we hope not only can we do this once, but maybe it's something that we can do that can help us, because again, in the next 15 months, we have to raise $700,000 in donations to keep these homeless programs going. In the last 18 months, we've housed over 145 people who were homeless and aren't homeless anymore. So it's crucial that we keep all of that going. And we don't know what events and social distancing is going to do in the coming days. So we all have to be creative. And boy, we're so appreciative to everyone who is giving and supporting us right now.
They're doing some good and important work at Bridge to Home, and they need our support at this event and the others that I'm sure Michael's cooking up for the future. Now, Michael, we can't just wait until Monday and decide whether or not our family's got an appetite for chili. We need to register before then, don't we?
Yes, Sunday at noon. So we want to make sure that all the restaurants know how many people they're going to be putting together their dinners for. And so Sunday at noon is our deadline, and that's what we're hoping to get to. And boy, I would love to have we'd love to have 100 or more meals total by then.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure we can surpass that 100 meal total. So
Right.
One more time, now is the perfect time to sign up. Let's just check Monday night's dinner off of your list. Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo, so you're having Mexican on Tuesday. Let's do some chili on Monday. Why don't you head on over to the website and get registered, get signed up for your chili dinner on Monday, and get ready to start posting on social media, giving big ups to Bridge to Home and whatever restaurant you chose to order your chili from. One more time, Michael, where can they register?
www.b2home.org. You can also go to our Facebook page. We'd love it if people would put this up on their own Facebook page and share it so we can get word out to as many people as possible. And you can also go to our Facebook page and link to the order page from there.
Okay, fantastic. Now, you mentioned that you're really reliant on the work of volunteers at Bridge to Home to help out those that you serve. Have you got needs? Is there a way that people can get in touch with you if they'd like to help out for a short period of time or long term?
Well, right now we're focused on our meals and making sure that our volunteers are helping to provide the meals like we always have. The exciting news that we have, however, is that we recently got funding to hire a full-time volunteer coordinator.
Oh, great.
And in the next few months, we are going to be launching an effort to provide volunteers with the opportunity to help at every single level of homeless services, from the street to somebody who's been housed and needs support in housing. So we've got a program that we're lining up that's going to be coming in the coming months. So when you go to our Facebook page, click on your favorites so you can go back and see what those opportunities are coming up.
Okay, fantastic. Mr. Foley, we want to thank you so much for your time and for everything that you do. Please be well, and we'll be thinking of you as we're having our chili on Monday night.
Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
You take care. Thank you so much for joining us, and we do hope that you enjoy that chili cook-off come Monday night. And for those of you that are a little food insecure, Michael's doing great things with moving folks from a situation of homelessness into homes, and he talked about the many people that he gets into homes over throughout the course of every year. But you might be out there struggling a little bit. I got a text message from a friend of mine whose husband just got laid off this morning. This pandemic and everything that follows as these dominoes fall can just be devastating to so many of us. I want you to know that we've got your kids covered. If your kids need food, our local schools are taking care of things. At SCVi and all of our iLEAD schools locations, whether it's Empower Generations up in the Antelope Valley or here on the east side of the valley, iLEAD Agua Dulce, the west side of the valley, SCVi, we've got your kids 0 to 18 years old covered. Just swing by. You don't need to be enrolled in our schools. Just pop by, let us know how many kids you've got, and we'll get you both breakfast and lunch. We're doing that Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, if you're on the east side of the valley and you want to head over to iLEAD Agua Dulce, that starts at 10. They go 10 to noon, but we're delivering breakfast and lunch for kids 0 to 18 years old, regardless of whether or not they're enrolled in our schools, every Monday through Friday. And on Friday, you'll also be able to pick up a food package for the weekend as well. So We're here to get you through the weekend also. I know some of the other area schools are doing the same thing, so call your local grocery store or call your local grocery store. Get on the website for your local school district and see what areas, what schools are doing food delivery there. I know they move around a little bit, so check your local district's website. Speaking of grocery stores, the Santa Clarita Grocery is also providing groceries, a full battery of groceries, everything that you need, and you just swing by, drop off your list, and the folks at Santa Clarita Grocery will pop in, fill up your bags, and bring them right out to your car free of charge. The Senior Center is also taking care of the needs of our seniors, and they're doing some great things out there, so give them a call at 661-259-9444, but make sure that your needs are being met, those of your kids and maybe your parents. If you're food insecure at this time, there's so many different organizations in this town that have got your back, and so we want to make sure that you're reaching out as needed. We do need to take a quick commercial break, but please stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be talking to a gardener from the Getty Center. And if you've ever been to the Getty, you know what a genius this guy is. He's got some great tips for us, so please stay tuned. You're listening to SCVi Charter Schools Eye in the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
This is Suzette Martinez Valadares. Many child care centers are closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The child care providers that are open are serving our essential workforce and finding it very difficult to find or purchase the supplies needed to keep their facilities clean and children healthy. Our healthcare professionals are fighting to save lives. First responders and law enforcement are bravely serving our community, and our grocery store clerks are keeping our local markets stocked. This is our chance to help them. This is why we are launching Operation Childcare. Our mission is to collect donations for local early childhood education providers serving our frontline essential workforce. Donations needed include hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, disinfectant spray, disposable gloves, and masks. These donations can be dropped off at KHTS Radio, located at 24320 Main Street in Newhall, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
As the stay-at-home order continues, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 Freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCVi may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call the Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. You're listening to Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson. Our next guest, Vincent Mcdaniels, is a SoCal native, growing up in Los Angeles and Altadena. After high school and studying exercise physiology in college, Vincent joined the U.S. Marine Corps, where he worked on aircraft such as F-18s, Harriers, and Cobras while serving in Desert Storm. After receiving his honorable discharge and a number of service awards, Vincent settled in Phoenix, Arizona, and began his new career, because when you go from Desert Storm, where else would you go besides Phoenix? In Phoenix, for 16 years, Vincent owned and operated his own business as a permaculture specialist, which is all about sustainability and growing your own food. While in Arizona, he was a University of Arizona Maricopa Master Gardener, certified permaculture designer, facilitator with the Valley Permaculture Alliance of Phoenix, and was the 2015 recipient of the Arizona African American Legislative Leadership Conference Unsung Hero Award for his work with sustainability. Holy cow, that is cool. In addition to teaching various gardening classes and play shops, because he doesn't call them workshops, Vincent was also involved with his local community, working with the city of Phoenix's Green Team, bringing the Food Day celebration to town. He helped organizers with Feast on the Street, a mile-long dining table through the streets of downtown Phoenix, where attendees would sit and dine together. 3 years in a row, he partnered with the Grow House to produce Cultivate. It's kind of a fun word. An annual farm-to-table fundraiser in which diners enjoy a handcrafted meal supported by volunteer enthusiasts, restaurateurs, farmers, and backyard growers from all over the region. He was a facilitator at Pepperfest and the Maricopa Home at the Maricopa Home and Garden Show for many years. You could catch him on television hosting the garden segment on Everyday Entertaining on Phoenix's local news channel 3, KTVK. Vincent has been featured in The Delightful Table and on Urban Farm podcasts. Some of his handiwork has graced the pages of Phoenix Home and Garden, Dwell Magazine, and Popular Mechanics. And he was even spotlighted on an episode of Big Ideas for a Small Planet on the Sundance Channel. He was on the founding board of Grow Organic Kids, a nonprofit that supported urban area Phoenix schools in developing school garden programs that aligned with state educational standards. But the heart wants what the heart wants, doesn't it? And years into his career in Phoenix, Vincent uprooted and decided to move back to Southern California to marry his high school sweetheart. And he currently resides here in Awesome Town. He's landed his dream job. He's now a gardener at the Getty Center in Los Angeles, where he keeps the flowers blooming, and he stands a vigilant watch over the wildfires that constantly threaten the area. So welcome, Vincent. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Matt. Wow, that's quite an intro.
You do have quite a bio, don't you? You're doing some great things. I know your expertise is in gardening, and you've got a great deal of experience in education as well. So during this time of distance learning, we all find ourselves suddenly homeschooling our kids. I know that you're at home working with your kids. How can families engage their kids with gardening at home?
Well, I understand it's quite a challenge. I mean, we go through our challenges here at home as well. Just even keeping them in school, but then also outside of that, like how do you get them, around and motivated? But I always feel that gardening is one of those things that's so natural. It should be natural for all of us. Like that's always been my mission, that everybody should have the opportunity to garden. So as a family, it's a big thing to get everyone out together, and something that everyone can do together. So with getting everyone, getting the family out there, sometimes kids just want to get out. I've been sitting there.
Yeah.
How many Zoom calls a day have you been on?
Oh man.
So and our our little ones and our big ones, the teenagers, they're sitting in there staring at a screen all day, class to class, and then with their friends, and so just to even get up and get out, move your body. It's nice out. I mean, we're getting some warm days, but we get a lot of these days where it gets really nice. So I just, just encouraging them, hey, let's everybody get outside and go do something in the garden, in the yard. And people go, well, we don't even have a garden. What are you talking about? But it's just making it a thing to just get outside. Like for us in our household, we do, like we schedule a movie night, a game night, and with just recently. You actually helped inspire it, talking on your show. But we started to do just like a family activity, and that was one of the things. Is like let's do a family activity and let's all go outside and do something in the garden, And so that's one good way to like get everyone out there to almost make it like a regular routine thing. It's not just something. Oh, you're going to make us go outside again. Versus, hey, it's Wednesday wonderment. Let's go outside in the garden and find something wonderful, your gratitude practice or something where you can get the kids outside to do something in the garden.
Yeah, absolutely. I just whacked my microphone with the bill of my hat. It's, not just building a garden, but you're building connections with the kids and lifelong memories. But I'm a little bit challenged, Vincent. I have to confess, I was actually cited by my homeowners association a few years back for the dead cactus on my front porch. So what are some resources for families that have never gardened before or just absolutely stink at it like me?
Ouch! The good old dead cactus. And surprisingly, having spent so much time in Arizona, we learned as master gardeners that's one of the easiest things to kill in the garden is cactus.
Oh, okay. So I don't feel so bad.
yeah, don't feel bad. You have no idea how many people. That's the first thing I get the call. They go, "I keep killing my cactus." Like, okay, this is an epidemic here. This is a pandemic. So dealing with something like that. With getting things going in the garden, some great resources here locally. SCViwater.org. Their website is really wonderful on showing you a lot of native plants that work great in our region. Simple plants. You can right now some of the essential services are those garden centers. The construction companies are still using them. Home Depot, the Lowe's, but also our local stores. Like Green Thumb Nursery and such. But SCV Water is a great online resource. You don't have to leave the house. You can kind of browse online, get an idea. You can see what you have in your yard, in your garden right now. And just so you know, I don't use the word yard. It's all garden. It's all garden. They just put a house in the middle of it. Just think of it that way. It's all garden. So that's one great resource locally. Also, our community gardens of Santa Clarita. They've got their website, but also. Even right now, the community gardens are open. You can kind of go out there. There aren't, it's not crowded. Everyone is still adhering to the social distancing, but you can get out there and just take a look and see what people are growing. They're growing more edibles, but you can get an idea of wow, things actually do grow out here in Southern California, in Santa Clarita, which is a beautiful place to grow things. And here's a fun resource too that actually inspired me too. The Santa Clarita Public Library, their Facebook page. They actually every Tuesday at 5:00, one of the librarians she started a worm bin, so she goes out and feeds the worms on Tuesdays at 5:00. And me and my family, we actually just put a worm bin together this past weekend to just inspired by that.
It's engaging television, isn't it? You wouldn't think that watching someone feed their worms would be so exciting, but it's good news. Now, Vincent, you talked about how it's all garden, and I'm struggling to visualize because I live in a matchbox of an apartment, and my patio is microscopic. What if I don't really have space for gardening?
So here's some fun things with not having a space, and like I mentioned with the community garden. And again, right now with the COVID-19 thing going on, you can't. We're not supposed to be getting out. But that's one thing to think about is getting your own garden plot at a community garden. Once we kind of get through all of this. But right now, here's some fun things. Is just spending some time out, doing some other research. Just kind of getting an idea, like making yourself a list. I love doing that, where you just get out there, use a Sharpie, use a big piece of paper and a Sharpie, and write down. What are some things I would love to grow? What are some colors I love? What are flowers I remember from my childhood that I enjoyed, that I liked, that I liked having? What did Grandma have in her garden? What are the things I remember about that? So getting those, I think those planning things, those inspirational things, those are some of the things that get you excited. So it starts to build that momentum. So when you do start working on your space, you can start doing that. If you have a smaller space like you have, a balcony. Is also just thinking about, okay, learning how does the garden work? There's lots of stuff, tons of stuff on YouTube about permaculture and xeriscape and starting your own gardens. But you understand, how does nature work? A big part of it is just, sunlight, water, and then soil. Those are your main components of gardening, sunlight, water, and soil. And so you go, okay, what do I have? I know I got water because I got a faucet or a pitcher or something. I can start with the water. Well, let's look at my sun. Do I get sun on my patio, on my balcony? Even inside, if you don't even have a balcony, so do I get sun at a window here on the what side of on this side of my this side of my house?
Sure.
Understanding what that side is. Is that the east side? Is that the west side? Is that the south side? West side. Avoid the west side. Don't go to the west side. No, don't go to the west side. West side is dangerous. But the east, and east. Here's the thing: east exposure, east side sun, morning sun. What do we do in the morning? We have our coffee, we have our breakfast. What does that do? That wakes us up and gets us started. Same thing for plants. East sunlight is breakfast for your plant. That's their coffee, that's their oatmeal, that's their pancakes. Getting east morning sun. All right. But you look around your place and you see, like, what are those elements do I have? Where's my light coming from, et cetera?
Okay, so it's just a matter of studying the layout of the house and figuring it out. So regardless of how much space I've got space for a garden, huh?
Yeah, and then there's your mission. You go, all right, who's the artist in the house? You get to draw the plan. You get to sit down and work on the paper. Let's get somebody who's going to find out. Okay, get us a compass. Find out where's our north, south, east, west. Where's our directionals? Where can we get soil from? Do we have an old bag of potting soil that moved with us from the house or wherever, and we just never got to it? Do we have some old potted plants? Do we have some old? Here's the thing: we're doing all these takeout. Ordering out, you get those clear clamshells for your meals. Those are your new. That's your new garden right there. You're gonna grow stuff in those clamshell containers. So where your food was, guess what? You're gonna grow your food in those containers. Those things are great for. They're just a little terrarium when you think about it.
So you're talking about the styrofoam or the plastic containers that the food comes in. I never thought of filling that with soil and planting things in there. That's great.
Yeah, that's actually one where I got started with a lot of things. It's just starting with one of those clear clamshells because I can move it around easy, put it over by the light window over here, move it by the light window over here, keep it away from the cat. You got a cat-proof stuff too. See, things you don't think about. Nature is all around.
Yeah. So, gosh, that's funny. Now, I think it was last week we celebrated Earth Day. We talked about it a little bit on the show. Did you and your family do anything to celebrate Earth Day, Vincent?
Yes, we observed the Earth moving. So no, actually on Earth Day we didn't do much. Just because it's like such an outside thing for me. I was like,
sure.
There's nothing to do for Earth Day. But here's what we actually did. I kind of snuck it in on my family ahead of time. Like about 3 weeks before Earth Day, I had us as a family activity. We all got outside and I did a little mini class for my family, and we planted seeds. I went through picking out seed packets. We all got our little pots, about 8-inch pots, just terracotta pots, and everyone planted their own seed. They got to pick their seed. I kind of coached them on what seeds will probably work best in a pot, which ones won't, and we kind of re-pick seeds again, because what I wanted to do for Earth Day is that they would have stuff growing by Earth Day. So we had some stuff popping up, and then the kids and so that was one thing that inspired them to say, all right, you planted your seeds. Did you water your seeds today? Did you water your seeds today? And I kind of got them going there. But then we started taking photographs of the seeds. So we're doing daily pictures of the seeds on how they're growing and how big they're growing. And, the 12th grader, her seeds are growing as tall as she is and as fast as she is.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty funny to see whose seeds are, and surprisingly, me, the gardener, my seeds are like in last place almost. So I'm like, all right, I guess, beginner's luck, right? Is that?
Ain't it always the way? That is funny. Now, I'm going to give you a pop quiz here. We've got a gardening holiday coming up this weekend. Do you know what gardening holiday is coming up this weekend?
Gardening holiday this weekend. Gardening holiday this weekend. Well, here's the thing, Matt. Gardening holiday is every day to me.
Boom.
So it's always going to be a gardening holiday weekend for me.
We've got a special holiday and something kind of fun. I don't want to sell it out ahead of time. Big T's going to be on the show tomorrow talking about it a little bit. So make sure that you tune in. It's and even if you're thinking I'm not a big gardening fan, you want to get your garden started, but Big T's got something for you that you're going to chuckle at tomorrow. So he'll be talking about that gardening holiday. Vincent, I want to thank you so much for enlightening us. You are amazing, and gentlemen, do not let your wives follow this man on social media, because by comparison, he's just going to make you look bad, man. He is seriously the best husband in the world. Vincent, again, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to take our last commercial break, but I want you to stay tuned. Kristina de Bree, our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, will be joining us next with lessons on that we can all learn from the cystic fibrosis community. And for more information on how COVID-19 is affecting our valley, please go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you'll find tips on the economy, health updates, special business hours, and much, much more. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
The minute I open my door,
Debbie Morris has a problem.
I say, oh my gosh.
A really big problem.
The dog, the cat, my 3-year-old.
Debbie's house is a mess.
How can one family create this disaster?
Debbie needs Made for You.
I need help.
Professional, residential, and commercial cleaning, locally owned. You choose the schedule, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even one-time seasonal cleaning. Call 255-2922. That's 255-2922. Made for You.
Made for You rescued me.
As the stay-at-home order continues, Burger King is committed to following state and federal safety guidelines when it comes to serving you, the customer. Although in-restaurant dining has closed, pickup and delivery service continues. The current hours are 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can mobile order through the BK app for pickup, or you can use any of the delivery services like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. Burger King on Lyons at the 5 freeway, now with service at 2 drive-through windows.
He broke records and piloted the F-18 Super Hornet in combat. Answering our nation's call, he served with honor. Then Mike Garcia returned home to his family, to a far worse California from where he grew up. Now, Garcia's next mission: cut taxes, clean up homelessness in our cities. With California on the brink, we need a fighter to answer the call once again. Mike Garcia for Congress.
I'm Mike Garcia, and I approve this message.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker has been ranked the 15th most influential person in the entire Santa Clarita Valley in 2010 by the Santa Clarita Valley Business Journal. When everything is on the line, call the Hacker Law Group.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. We've got a couple of updates from previous segments that I want to go through before we get to our next guest. I just clicked over to our Facebook Live feed, and listener Ken is asking a question that we missed for our last guest. So I think we can still throw it out there. I bet we can get your question answered, Ken, because I know that Vincent and his family are avid listeners. So watch this. Listener Ken asks, Vincent, are you listening? With the summer coming, what type of flowers and veggies can we grow here in Santa Clarita? So Vincent, if you're there and you can post on the Facebook Live feed, do you think you can answer listener Ken's question? With the summer coming in, what type of flowers and veggies should we be growing here in Santa Clarita? We've also got our next guest was asking about the chili thing, the chili cook off, not the chili cook off, the chili cook out that Bridge to Home is doing. You can just head on over to the Bridge to Home website, and it is B, short for Bridge, B 2, and that's not the number, that's the word TO. So it's btohome.org, btohome.org, and that one is in the Facebook comments as well, btohome.org. And then you just scroll down a couple of inches to the virtual chili cook-off that's happening on May 4th. You do need to order now. You can't wait till May 4th. You've got to order by noon on May 3rd. So if you're like Kristina and you want to pick up some chili and support some great things happening in our community, helping people out, then head on over to that. And I also want to, I'd like to ask producer Sarah if she could help post the website to the webinar that iLEAD Schools is hosting today. You know, iLEAD Schools, we're hosting a free webinar to help support you as you're doing remote learning with your kids, with your family. Every Thursday at 1 p.m., we're hosting a webinar to support families and the community. Today's topic is doing project-based learning at home, and we've got one of the world's leading experts on project-based learning, Tom Markham. You know, he actually works with us at iLEAD Schools, but he, 26, 27 years ago, he literally wrote the book on project-based learning, what it's all about, and how we can do it. His book has been published in several different languages now, and he's going to be teaching you to lead project-based learning at home. And no, it's not just another subject that you have to add on top of what you're already doing. This is a way that you can take everything that your kids are learning and A, make it more effective, B, make it much easier for you, C, make it much more exciting and engaging for your kids. It's just a phenomenal way to teach. We've been doing it at iLEAD Schools for 12 years now, but Tom, our expert, is going to be working with one of our online learning experts, Emily Evenson, today. Again, 1 p.m. So head on over to our Facebook feed on KHTS, and we've got the link there for you to register. There's still time to register before that 1 p.m. webinar starts. Alrighty, she was asking about the chili cookout that's coming up on Monday. We're joined now by Kristina de Bree, a licensed marriage and family therapist with an incredible story of resilience and determination. She is a trauma and resilience specialist, which, is so needed right now. We're all going through this trauma in different ways, and the specialties that she provides just really helps take care of us. She's a graduate of Cal State Northridge and Pepperdine University with her practice right here in Valencia. She's studied things like trauma and phobias, performance enhancement, attachment disorders, suicide prevention, sexual abuse, child and adolescent interventions. She can help you out with just about anything that you're working through. She's got more than 18 years of public speaking experience as well, working with all kinds of groups. Welcome back. Good morning, Kristina. Good to have you.
Good morning.
So did you jot down that website? You going to get your chili on Monday night?
Yes, I already was looking at it.
All right, fantastic. It sounds so good. And the only difficult thing about it is figuring out which of the 3 restaurants you're going to choose to order from. But anyways, Kristina, we got justifiably sidetracked yesterday and talking about Denim Day and helping victims of sexual abuse. But you talked on Tuesday about the things that we can take from the cystic fibrosis community. You talked about how the CF community has known for years that we need to keep our social distance to protect each other. But can you give us any specific tips now on what you learned in terms of living life in crisis?
So one of the biggest takeaways is not comparing yourself to others. There's this great quote, if you compare yourself to others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. And that's something my father actually used to remind me of all the time. And I just absolutely love that quote, and I think it's so relevant, especially during times of crisis. And it's so important to be kind to yourself. Because we're not necessarily going to be performing at the same level that we would normally be. And some people are more resilient than others during this time. This is about weathering the storm and knowing that we all have different ways of dealing with it, and that's okay. There's no one-size-fits-all, and it's important not to let anyone try to convince you that there is a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah, so none of us are living out on an island all by ourselves. So if you're doing well, terrific. But most of us need help or support in some way. You've got to reach out and let others help you, whether that's a neighbor, a family member, or somebody like Kristina, right?
Absolutely. And, I think it's important to remember that right now we are really making decisions out of a place of stress, which tend to be made with a scarcity mindset. Like there's not enough resources, as opposed to an abundance mindset, which is there's more than enough. And that limits our performance and our goals, and it has long-term life impacts. And so this is why I've talked about it before and just reminding today, sharing, holding space and for yourself and for others. So sharing and being honest about your feelings, like I am feeling sad. And, if you find yourself saying but or at least, you are probably not holding space. So I am feeling sad, but Okay, it doesn't, that's not holding space. It's just I am feeling sad, period. And so when you're trying to support yourself or others, it's just, thank you for sharing your sadness with me. Let's spend some time being sad. And I know we don't like doing that, but that's how we're going to get through this, because if we just stuff those emotions down, we're going to have significantly more severe emotional, and really everything consequences in the future.
Yeah, but I'm a guy, and that's just what we do. We take our emotions and we stuff them deep down. Is that really causing me problems?
Well, that's maybe that's for another day. We'll talk about that another day.
Okay, definitely. So
a very
I know we're all struggling, and we don't always know. It's kind of hard to gauge. We're going to get through this, and I'll be fine on the other side. I don't really need any help, but a lot of us are thinking, I really do need to talk to someone. If you're in either one of those two categories, I do want to encourage you to reach out to your healthcare provider. Kristina, I know you also offer a free 15-minute phone consultation. Can people just pick up the phone, call you, and say, hey, I don't think I need any help, but let's talk about this?
Absolutely. So that's why I offer free phone consultation, because, it's a very scary and vulnerable process to reach out to a therapist.
Yeah.
And so I really just want to meet you where you're at, and sometimes I'm able to help people, and if I'm not, then I'm going to point them in the right direction.
Fantastic. So if you're doing just fine, talk to Kristina for 15 minutes, and she'll tell you, yeah, you got this, buddy. You're good, and have a nice life. But if you do need some support, she can either help you out or get you pointed in the right direction. Her phone number is 661-513-4857. You can also check out her website at KristinaDeBree.com. We'll go ahead and post that in the comments on our Facebook Live section. Kristina, as always, thank you so much for your help. We look forward to talking to you again next week, and we look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. We've got another terrific show tomorrow. We've got Cheryl Senna coming on to talk about what they're doing at SCVi in terms of graduation and prom and things like that. I want to thank our guests today, Mike Foley, Vincent McDaniels, Kristina de Bree. We also had Josh McCall from Empower Generations there. Join us again tomorrow here on Eye on the Valley. You are listening to your hometown station, KHTS.